Hi guys, today we'll learn how to cut and sew a turban. Cut and sew turban. The materials needed are your scuba material or any stretchy material you wish to use. You can as well use the Ankara. What I have on my head is made of Ankara. This is Ankara turban. I'll be needing my scissors. I'll need needle and thread, chalk, your tailor chalk for marking, and your accessories. So let's get started. Now, to make a turban, the first thing you need to know is your head circumference. And for an adult, our head circumference is about 23 inches, 24 inches, depending on how big or small the head is. If you're making for yourself, I will advise you use your tape to take your head circumference this way. So for myself, I have 24 inches. I have 24 inches. Now, what we are about making is what I have on my head. I'm teaching you how to make this design on my head. So I'm going to cut out 24 inches for my fabric. I have my material folded together. So this is scuba material. Now 24 divided by 2, that is 12 inches. Because I'm cutting out 12 inches because I have it on a fold. So here I have my 12 inches already. As you can see, this 12 inches. So I'm cutting out 12 by 13. 12 by 13. This is 13 inches. All right. Okay. Now, if you don't want to fold yours this way, you can still measure it at a stretch. You still have your 24 inches. And you see, I have my 24 inches here. So on a fold, it will be 12 inches rather. Now here, I'm going to cut out my band. That's this band I have in front here. The length will still be the same head circumference, which was 24 inches. Can you see this? 24 inches. Then I'll be folding it into two this way. I'll be folding it into two this way. So on the fold, can you see the folding? On a fold, I have 2 inches. So can you see this? I have 2 inches on a fold. And the next thing for us is to mark. Now first, I'll start with my band. Fold the band into two this way. Fold it into two this way. And I'll cut it out. I'll cut it into two. The reason being that we are trying to make a V shape. If you are making the straight design, the one you have in front, there is no need cutting this into two. You just take this to your sewing machine and sew it straight. But because I want to teach us how to make the V shape, so I'm going to cut this into two this way. I have this. Then you can use your office pin to hold them, to tuck them down if you like. So I have this now. Now the next thing for me to do is I'm going to place them this way to form that V shape. I don't know if you're getting it. Can you see this now? So place them to form the V shape. And then use your office pin to hold this down. So can you see this? Then the next I'm going to do is I'll bring in my base, fold that into two as well equally. Then determine my center. So this is the center. Then I will notch just a little. I will notch the center. The essence of notching the center is to enable me place the center of the band correctly at the center of the turban. I don't know if I'm speaking the right English. So notch already, I have it notch already. Then the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to make a cuff on the turban. But before that, I'll be joining this hairband to, you can see this way. So I'll be joining this hairband to the cap using my sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can use your needle and thread. So I'll be joining the headband to the sewing machine. Then thereafter, oh, now I've sewn one of the bands to it. Can you see? So I'm going to sew. I'll sew the other one to it. Make sure you place it well. If you are not sure of it, it's better you use your pin to hold it first. So we're having this shape, this V shape. That's the next thing I'm going to do now. I'm done sewing the other side of it. So this is how the front looks like. And the next thing, I'm going to fold it into two this way. Fold it into two. Then place it on your table. Make sure they are equal. They're equally placed. Okay. Then I'll pick up my tailor chalk. Before then, remember we cut out our head circumference to be 24 divided by 2, that's 12 inches. So I still have my 12 inches here. Can you see? I have my 12 inches here. Now I'm going to measure out 11.5 inch. 11.5. The half inch we are removing is for the stitches. So I'm going to trace out 11.5. 11.5 down. Can you see this? So this is my 11.5 inches. So I'm giving it half an inch allowance. I'm giving it half an inch allowance. Then from here, just watch what I'm going to do from here. I'm gonna cuff it out for you this way. Then link it up to this. I'm sure you can see what I did there. Make a curve like an arc. I say like a bend. Make a bend. Then you keep it straight. Keep it straight at this end. Keep it straight at this end. The sewing allowance, the seam allowance here should not be more than half inch as well. So my half inch is here. So that's it. I'm going to cut out this. No, I'll sew this way. Then cut out this angle. This is not useful. You don't need it. Okay. Let's start from here. So I have this cut out. Stitch on the mark this way. Then after stitching, I'm going to pleat my gathers. with my gathers. So let's get, now as you can see this, I'm done sewing it, round. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to run my gathers like first of all a running stitch. Make sure you're using a matching thread. Run a running stitch. I'm sure you can see what I'm doing. Just a running stitch. Keep doing it until you get to the last, until you get to the end. Now can you see? So after that, next thing is for you to drag well, but be careful so that you won't cut the thread. So you have this, drag well, and I'm using this tailor thread. I prefer doing my running stitches twice, but if you are using twine or thicker thread, once is okay. Or better still, you can make your thread into 4, into 6 to make it thicker. So then I'm going to cut it off from here. I'll cut it off, then I'll knot. So I'm going to knot to avoid losing. I'm going to knot well. I actually made my own thread into 4, so you can make yours into 4, into 6, into 8, depending to make it thicker. You can as well use twine, the one usually used by the shoe cobbler to sew what's it called, to fix shoe, to sew shoe. You can use that as well, or twine thread. You can use twine. Those ones are thicker than this. And if you have to use tailor thread, make sure you double it, also like 4, 6, 8 times, in order to be on the safer side. So I have this. Then I'm going to turn it in out, so you see how the back looks like. See? There's it. Then the next thing is for me to attach my design. This design I have on my head, there are different designs you can actually attach to it. Anyway, this is how to make your cap. Now I said earlier that your measurement determines the size of the cap. Your measurement determines the size of the cap. Like if I'm making for myself, mostly I like it a bit bigger, so that it can fix in my hair, especially when I'm carrying braids or whatever, I can fix in my hair. But if you are making for something very small, like just for those that do not really like making hair, 22 inches is okay, 22. But this actually you're working with is 24 inches. So you can see that. So this is it on my head. It's so firm, not too tight and not too loose. So the next thing is I'll be showing you how to cut out this design. It's so simple and so fast. And now for the design, I'm going to cut out my 40 by 5 inches, that is 40 length, and the breadth 5 inches. So I have 5 inches here. Sure you can see this, 5 inches. Then the length is 40 inches. the length is 40 inches. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is from the center here, I'm going to measure out 4 inches. Please watch what I'm doing closely. I'm going to measure out 4 inches here this way. 4 inches. Can you see? I'll mark it down. Four inches. I'll mark it down until I get to the. I'm done marking the 4 inches out. So the next thing I'm going to do is join them together this way. Make sure the mount is touching each other this way. Then pick up your zigzag scissors. Pick up your zigzag scissors and trim the edges. Make sure it's equal. So I'm going to trim it down. Just the tip. You don't have to cut so much. The essence of this is just to have a smooth edge. Okay, I'm done doing that. So what I'm going to do next is very simple. Watch me from this angle. Now look at these marked lines. I'm going to draw out triangles. Sure, you will remember we draw triangles in mathematics. From this point here, I don't know if you are seeing what I'm doing. From this point this way, just take it down. From this, bring it up this way and take it down. Can you see? So you continue like that. Continue like that. Continue like that. So I'm done. Can you see I'm done? Now, if you know you cannot do it like the way I did it, you cannot freestyle it, just measure 2.5 inches, or either 2 inch or 2.5 inch, depending. So what I have here is 2 inches. So now I'm going to trace it out. Now look at this. I'm tracing now the zigzag lines. The straight lines will still be there. Don't cut out the straight line. So watch what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start from here. Can you see this? Cut it down. I'm using my zigzag scissors to trace it down. Can you see this? Then I stop there. Then go to the next one. Once you get to the straight line, you stop. Can you see this now? So I'm going to move to the next one here. So I keep cutting like that until I get to the end. I'm sure you can see this. So this is out already. This is out of it. Then move to the next line. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I don't have to cut it off from the other side. So you keep, once you get to the straight line, you stop. Then move to the next line this way. This is the next one. The next zigzag line. So you cut, you cut, you cut, you cut. So the truth is, as you are cutting, some will stay on it this way. Can you see? While some will fall out in between. Some will fall out in between. So it's fine. This is actually what we wanted. So I'll keep cutting until I get. Now this is the outcome. This is the outcome of it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a running stitch on that line. That's the essence of the line. On that line, you can either do it on the line or at the tip, or better still, run your stitches on the line. So I'm going to start now. So I do a running stitch from the beginning to the end of it on the line. So this is what I have. Can you see? After doing the running stitches, can you see this? So you just have to drag it down, then you have something like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the two ends, this edge and this other edge, join them together this way. Join them together, then drag a bit. So I have this. And if you want it fuller than this, then you increase the length. Remember, this was 40 inches length. If you want it fuller than this, you can make it 45, you can make it 50, you can even make it 60. The longer it is, the fuller it will become. Now remember that we have some that fell out while we were tracing the zigzag. They are actually not a waste. We'll fix them in between to make it more fuller. Now I have this. So can you see this? Then I'm going to tack it using my needle and thread. You won't cut off the thread. So use your thread and the needle to tack the edges. These edges, the under, tack them together so that you can have something like this. Now this is it. I'm done tackling the edge together. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place it beside my cap this way. The one I have on my head is on my left, so I'm going to do this to the right depending on how you want it. So still using the same needle and thread, tack it, make sure it's well placed. Then I'm going to tack it beside the turban. So I'm done tackling it to the cap. Can you see this? Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix in the one that fell off. I'm going to fix them here to cover this place. So I'm still going to use the same thread. Now watch this. These are the ones that fell off. These are the ones that fell off while cutting the zigzag line. Now I'm going to pick one. Look out for where you have the triangular shape. So watch out for the pointed part. This is the pointed part. And I'm going to pleat the down part gently this way. Then pass my needle through it. And drag it down to where I actually wanted it to be. Then pick another one, pleat the down part this way. Make sure you're having something like this. Then pass your needle through, then pass it down. So you keep doing that. Now as you are putting it, you just use your hand to arrange it on how you want it to be or where you want it to be. So I keep doing that until I'm done with everything. Keep doing that. Now I'm done with tackling it. So the next thing is to add your pears. I don't have the pears at the moment, probably later. Then I've garnished it with my feather. So you can use whatever you have at home to garnish it.